So every now and again, I get hit up by a developer of a game that I've covered asking me to take the video down for a plethora of different reasons. It could be that the game has gotten better and they don't want the negative publicity, or in the case of a game like Raised in Oblivion, they were trying to get investment from a crypto company and didn't want my video showing up on Google search results showing them how bad the game actually was. Yeah, that was a real thing on this channel, and it was fucking hilarious. I just got hit up today from the developer of a game that I covered back in 2019 called Easy Shooter. It was being developed at the time by a dev team called Developer of Easy Shooter. Yeah. It was a free-to-play game that, honest to Christ, looked like it was made in about 20 minutes and thrown up onto the Steam store. The game was planned to be in early access for only a year, but when you played the game, it was literally so bare bones that it would have taken like a decade to get it to a point of anyone actually wanting to play it. What bothered me is even though it was free to play, which I did give them props for, the developers had planned to increase the price as it released out of early access. Now we know that games in early access might take years, but the dev had delusions in thinking that it would take only a year to turn whatever the hell this was.
What's the end game here? Like, is this something that you're gonna put on your resume? Where did you work before this? Oh, I worked at Developer of Easy Shooter.
To a fully functioning game, and I called him out on it. My whole channel is about cleaning up the Steam store, calling out projects that are either charging too much money for nothing but things like marketplace assets, or games that will never be completed and being thrown up for, absorbent amounts of money, Kickstarter projects that are clearly scams, and pretty much everything in between, including asking for feedback from an early access community when you haven't actually done anything to the project to make it a real game. And that's where I felt this game landed. This should have been an itch.io project from the jump, distributed there to gain feedback before going to Steam. Truthfully, I was so sick and tired of the flooding of just downright terrible games on Steam. I was tired of Steam's lack of QA, and Easy Shooter got caught in the crossfire. After the video went out, I moved on, and I haven't thought about the game at all until today. The developer reached out via email to let me know that they are the developers of Easy Shooter, now renamed Action Entities on Steam. They asked me to delete the video. The email reads, "Hey, can you please delete the video from the link below? I really ask you to do this, of course. My game isn't perfect. I tried to improve it, but apparently it didn't work out. Its development began back in 2017. Now, keep in mind, I dropped my video 2 years later in 2019. They say I even have an alpha version where they're not even character models, but only capsules running around. More than 20,000 lines of program code were written in the game. It was very difficult to think through the entire game's architecture, logic, so that everything worked stably. I'm just demoralized right now, and I've been depressed for 2 years. Please delete it. I understand that you are very popular and you can easily insult me and show me the bad side, and I will not be able to do anything in response to you, but I would be grateful if you delete this video." Look, I feel bad for someone that I talked about in a video is going through, a tough time mentally. As a human, I feel bad. It's weird because I know I've made a lot of videos on bad indie games, and I know that my words may have hurt those people in the past. Truthfully, in 2019, I was really angry at the way that my hobby was moving and the fact that the Steam store was being flooded with mediocre to downright terrible games that had no effort put into them, regardless if they were charging $20 or, in this case, they were free. Unfortunately for the developer, I stand by everything that I said in the video. Yeah, it was a free game, but that doesn't negate the fact that it wasn't even a game worth putting onto Steam. In my opinion, I covered it, I said what I said, and I moved on. But to know that somebody was hurting over my words for this long, it sucks. I responded basically saying that, to which they then responded that they were really offended when I showed the game from the bad side without trying it out to the end without a player base and calling it garbage that was made in 20 minutes. Now, if you watch the original video, you know that nobody had bought the game. I was the only person logged into the game at all. I mean, how do I show it with a player base if nobody's playing it? And truthfully, it looks like it could have been built in 20 minutes. Now they say, while I remind you that it was created since 2017, it was very painful for me to hear this when I watched your video and worried about it for so many years. But how I made corrections, updated it, and improved it, no one noticed it anymore. Can you please, next time when you do reviews on small indie developers, treat them not as rude as my game? After all, it is important to remember that other small developers also make small and imperfect games, and they make many mistakes, especially. It is important to remember that no game is perfect and every game has its advantages and disadvantages. Nothing is perfect. It is important to be able to look for the good sides everywhere. And I'll be honest, man, in the last few years, pretty much ever since I've gone through the pandemic, I've been trying to look for the good in a lot of titles, and I've been trying to just have a lot more fun and not cover these bullshit ass indie games that aren't going anywhere. The video I made on Easy Shooter is 4 years old, and since then, apparently, the developer has done a lot of updates that apparently have gone unnoticed. They're also charging $20 for the game in its current state. It released out of early access in 2021, and they want me to remove the video because it has caused them pain. And I'll be honest now, I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. There's sometimes I go off on social media and I say things that probably sound a lot harsher than I'm meaning them to be. That being said, Easy Shooter, in the state that it was in 2019, was fucking terrible. And now that the developer has changed the name and is charging a price for it, they want me to remove it because apparently my words hurt them enough to where they've been going through some shit. So I figured, why not show you guys exactly where the game is now and exactly why I called it way back in 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Action Entities, formerly known as Easy Shooter. And keep in mind, they're now charging $20 for it. What in the fuck? What am I supposed to be doing? Guys, keep in mind, this is $20. You know what I mean? Like... Oh, God, okay. Bro, this, like, come on, man. Like, are you serious, dude? How are you gonna sit here and tell me that this game was in development from 2017, it was released on Steam in 2021. That's 4 years of development. Granted, probably not 4 full years. Like, I get it, you claim you made improvements, but like, look at this, bro. This is like, who would want to play this, man? I don't know what's going on. Like, your bots are barely functioning, you know what I mean? This is terrible. There is nothing here that justifies a $20 price tag. In fact, I actually think this game is worse than what it was when I covered it the first time. As soon as you charge money for this, bro, there's a set of expectations. If you truly feel like this is $20 worth of game, you're sadly mistaken. And like, look, I'm gonna be real, man. Unfortunately, when you are actively charging money for a product this bad, it's very hard for me to feel sympathetic for you. And like, you tell me that I have to extract the positives, and like, what's positive about this? You have bots, but like, they barely function. I'm not gonna give you props for having tree models that are inside buildings. You know, when I see this and I feel empathetic and I read your email and I'm like, fuck, man, maybe I should give it another chance. And then I boot up the game and I just get this. And it sucks because every time I talk about a game like this, people look at my project and they use this kind of shit as cannon fodder for talking shit about my project. But like, we gotta be real, man. There is no fucking comparison when you have a team of devs who like, they know what they're doing versus you. This looks like baby's first project, and that is okay. But when you put it on Steam in the first place, there's a set of expectations that should come with it. That's why I suggested you should go to itch first, distribute it there, let people know that you're making a game, and get feedback instead of clocking up the Steam store with yet another garbage fucking game. But now you're charging money for it, which is even worse. If you gave this to me for free, I would, well, I mean, you did. I mean, what can I say? You fucking did give it to me for free 4 fucking years ago. So, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't play it if it was free. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like we're still in the same spot. What the fuck is this? I'm dead, I guess. This just isn't a good game. $20, dude. Bro, this, like, what am I playing, man? What am I looking at, dude? Okay, like, yeah, honestly, I feel like I've played enough, man. All right, I appreciate you guys if you made it this far in the video. That was a tough watch. Look, this isn't Participation Trophy the channel. I'm just gonna say that right now. I don't give props for developers trying. I give props for developers making good products. At the end of the day, I'm not judging you as a person. I am judging the products you put out. And I would hope that you guys would also do the same thing when it comes to my project. Yeah, I have ripped on a shit ton of indie games that look and feel and play just like this. They make the same fucking mistakes. You coming to me, reaching out with your pity party email. Look, I feel for you, man. It is a tough time for everybody right now. But I feel like you didn't put your best foot forward, and I also feel like you know that this game is not worth $20 in today's market. You have to be objective as a game developer, and you have to understand that you as a business entity have to market your game for what it is worth in the current market, and you didn't do it. At the end of the day, I hope that you guys judge my game on the product that it is and not the person behind it, just like I have done on this channel since day one. I feel bad for the person reaching out, but this is not a rectified situation. Even if you feel like you have done enough, I'm telling you from my perspective, you haven't. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Am I crazy? I know I'm an asshole, but like, this to me is just ridiculous. I want to know your guys' thoughts. Let's have a conversation. I hate making early access videos because I know that developers take it personally, and I hate contributing to what I'm looking at now as the social media toxicity. But I also look at products like this, and it's just clear as day it is not worth $20. Again, I wouldn't play it if it was free, and I didn't. Let me know what you guys think down below. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, a dislike if you didn't. My name is Big Fry, and I'll see you on the next one.